This way. We'll be going to the dungeon very soon. But let's talk about the graves we have here. We'll go to the dungeon. We have one grave separated from three. This is for an African. This one for Europeans. So you can see clearly that even the dead were separated. Black person here, Europeans here. Let's start from the European one. This was somebody by name C.B. Whitehead. He was a British soldier. He died 1812, age 38 till now. We don't know exactly what killed this gentleman. This was somebody called George MacLean. Names like MacLean, MacDonald, McCarthy, they are Scottish names. The man came here 1830 as a governor and then a judicial assessor. For this man, when they go to the dungeon, there's a tunnel. It used to be a tunnel that when they were ready to go with the captives, they walk them through to the door of no return. They won't bring them outside. They walk through the tunnel. The tunnel is about 6 to 8 meters long. Macleay came to block that. The same man started a court up there called Macleay's Hall, because slavery in Africa lasted 400 years. After that, British colonized Ghana for 113 years. So colonial time, the capital of Ghana was in Cape Coast. They moved to Accra 1877, so that was a court. The man stayed in the building 17 years. Mosquitoes killed him. He died 1847, age 46 from malaria. This is the wife of Macleay, called Letitia Elizabeth Lennon. She was the only white woman who came around during the entire period of the trek. About 2 months, she also died. When Macleay was coming, Macleay did not come with a wife. So for like 6 years, Macleay wasn't going to England again for a visit. The wife came from England to visit the husband, and she died after 2 months. There were lots of rumors at that time. One school of thought said malaria killed Letitia within 2 months on arrival. The other one said because Macleay stayed longer, Macleay wasn't going to England again. Macleay has gone in for an African woman called Miss Bannerman from Accra. So when Letitia came to head of that story, out of jealousy, she took some points. So till now, I don't know what killed her, but she died. She died 1837, 10 years before the husband died, age 36. So what do you think killed Letitia? Called Philip Kweku. The name Kweku is a Ghanaian name, born on Wednesday, but the Kweku was corrupted into Kwak. Like British could not pronounce our names properly. So instead of Kweku, they said Kwak. This man, his father, worked with the British, so he was taken to England. The three was Philip, Thomas, and William. When he got there, the two died. He trained him as a school teacher. He made him a pastor in the Anglican ministry at age 24. He was the first black person to be ordained as a priest. He came back to the country, then he got post as a pastor and a teacher. He preached in his church. This is the church. The building with the 3 windows everything. The church is just above the dungeon. He preached in the church, and that said that some blacks were below the church, some of them went as captives. He taught some Euro-African children. He worked for the British for the whole of his life and died October 17, 1816 at age 75. So because he worked for them, that was why he buried him. So this is Philip Kweku, who later became Reverend Philip. When you come to Cape Coast, there are schools named after him. When it came colonial time, he promoted Western education. We can now go to the dungeons. So this is the entrance to the middle dungeons. This is for men, 1,000 at one time. So as you go in there, after the 2 steps, no steps again, use the metal, hold the metal. So we are going. Let's go. Just this one side.
To the last end, it was built for 1,000 men. 1,000 in total. But they divided the dungeons. They divided the dungeons into 5. So this is 1. 200 were in this. 200. this light wasn't here. That is why I switched off the lights. So I can have a feel the original situation. So 3 holes like this, where there are windows, source of light in the air of 200 people. So some became blind. 200 became blind. You can see the bricks. This original one is what I was telling you. They brought it from England to bound their ships to Africa. In those days, there was nothing like toilet facility. No urine for the African people. So anytime they wanted to go to the toilet, they would. If they want to urinate, the same place. They were here for 3 months. These trenches were constructed as their urinal. And when you urinate, to run through into the sea. But it got to a time that some Africans could not withstand the suffering, so they were fighting the white people. They wanted to free themselves. Those doing that, British identified them and brought them from the other side to this place. So then they created a door. It was a door here before. So they called this side a strong room. So British were not coming to clean solid waste. So the waste started piling. It started from one level to the other, It got to a time that this bricks was buried deep down in the waste. So I want to show you the level at which the waste came out. So therefore, those here, can you move to where I am? Now, if you look on a wall, you can see these white markings. See the markings? The waste then rose to the bottom of the lines. It reached this height. Reached the level lines. It reached the bottom of the markings. Reached this height. The original bricks was buried. But 1974, University of Ghana came to do excavation here before they found the original bricks. Also the mark there was 74. So many died. Those who died were thrown into the sea. They were not buried. But they left a portion of that waste. Now we still have it here. So it's around this place. So those days, can you move to this side of the experiment? Can you see this one here? My sister. See this one here? See, this is different from the bricks. This is the one that they left behind. From that time.
Wow.
So that generations yet unborn to come and see. This one was tested and it proved that it had toilet, urine, blood, and other things. So this is waste from our ancestors. But because it's been a long time, it has changed like an ordinary soil. Now, if you go to the other side, the 4 chambers. No, I want to finish with you. Then you cannot see the bricks. You see something like this throughout. But that is not the original floor. That place has not been excavated yet. So the floor you see there, that is called waste. But here you can see the bricks. So when you get it, you see that it's different. It's like this. And this is the 10th one, which had 200 people. The whole city of windows for those inside. One inside 5 people. But on top of this dimension, British went to build a church. They said they were Christians. I told in the introduction that they came because of the gold, but they will tell you they came because of Christianity. And they were Anglicans. Anglican church. So they were preaching Bible at the top. And who were here 7 nights. You can see the urinal and go down, so you can see the urinal. Let's go home. If you enter, some of you should move to the left, some of you to the right. Here or there. For this place. It's for everybody. You can choose to left or to the right.
Now, this is the last one, which had 200 people. So out of the 1,000 Africans, by the time British were ready to go, with the many died. The survived ones were taken there, they were chained them. And they got seat. Then there was a hole at the back of this white cloth. They call it a tunnel. So they forced them through the tunnel. They take them to the door of no return, and they'll be taken away. By the time it was blocked, in 1833, when the trade stopped, that was done to signify the end of slave trade. And when they go outside, the hole is there, we'll see. But nobody can see it. When they bring them from the dungeon to this point, because they were here for a longer time, some were actually sick and weak. So the sick ones, they will select them. They will send them to that small room to go and wait, to allow the stronger ones to go. That was why they created this window. So that because there wasn't light then, this one will help them to see he's sick and he's not sick. So they call this point selection room. This one is a shrine which was not here. And we have to understand that before white men came to Africa with Christianity and Islam, that was also brought by Arabs. Africa, this is our religion. People pray to God through lesser gods. So before British built the castle in 1665, the locals who were in this town had a shrine like this one around this part of the land. When the British built the castle, anytime the owners of the shrine wanted to come and pour libation, British would say no. The locals came for the shrine to the community. So when the British left, they brought a shrine to this place. They brought it here in 1974. They call it Nana Tabil. And Cape Coast, there are 77 of these deities. Nana is one of them. If you look around here, you can see flowers. It doesn't mean that somebody died. The blacks taken away at the time. The actual people, can you all see from here? The actual people did not get the chance to come back alive. But today, the descendants like you are coming from the US, from Jamaica, Brazil, Suriname. They come all over the world. Whenever they come here, we go on a tour like they are doing, and frankly speaking, many of them share tears with us. But that depends on our belief. Some pray, they pour libation, they do other rituals, they leave business and they go back. That's what the place is. We have some personalities who came to this place. I believe you might have heard of some of them. You know some of them? Someone like President Obama was here. The wife of Trump came here. Maybe the Then the congressmen and women in America were here. Steve Harvey was here. Danny Miller was here. Reverend Jackson was here. Sean Paul was here. Akon was here. T.I. was here. Ambassadors, senators, and a lot of people come. This like God was here. So today, we are all doing about this. This is everybody last week. This is where we just came from, where the shrine is. Can you see that place? So, from that place, after selecting them, the stronger ones were forced through a tunnel. So where you see the cannons arranged, there is a big hole underneath the cannons to the door of no return, which was blocked by McLean. So let's walk on the tunnel. Let's walk. They're
Just
defensive
kidding.
weapons. These are their bullets. The passage. Let's continue this one, ladies and gentlemen.
It's hard to see if you got good pictures.
This is the end of the tunnel. This is the end. It was closed.
Okay.
But when the trade was going on, this side wasn't closed, it was open. So the men will come from where the shrine is, through where you were taking the picture, they were just on top. When it got here, at first, this was the exit point. The men were going this way. But due to the tidal waves, the sea was coming in. So the British decided to block that side. And they created this as a new entrance. So from here, instead of the men going this way, they will pass here. But this was closed when the trade stopped, only in 1853. So can we please go out again?
Yeah.
Now this one is a cell. One cell already. And the other cell was built for men who were fighting British. So this one was built for female captives. That British wanted to rape, and the women refused. Because of malaria, Europeans never brought their wives. Only men came. They left their wives in England to take care of their children. And the men who were here were adults. So they could not stay alone for a longer time without women. They raped African women. But sometimes, if they wanted to do that, some women would fight with them. Those who said no to that, they brought them here. They locked them for about 1 week. They were doing that for others to see. So that the next day when they get closer to you, people they fight more. There's a hole in that was their toilet. They pass food and water through the place. Once a day, sometimes twice. There were 300 women. So 150 here, 150 in there. But you might be wondering, why do they take women as captives? Because I told you in the introduction that they were taken to go and work. So the talk of hard labor could have been men, but women were taken. They were taken to go and produce babies, reproduce. They were taken to go and give birth. So when they got there, they did production and reproduction. And here they were treated like a man. They go to toilets in the dungeons. They will urinate. At the end of every month, women pass their menstruations naturally. They did not allow them to clean their teeth. They did not bath. There was no sanitary pad for about 3 months. But upon all this humiliation, British still raped some African women. Yes, they did it. Yes, it happened. Because they never brought their wives, so they couldn't stay, so they raped the African women. So anytime they wanted to do that, they'll come from the rooms at the top, they'll open this or that, they'll look through, then if you're the beautiful one, they'll select you to the bedroom. If you fight with them, they'll punish you in that cell. Some of them became pregnant at that time. So when they were ready to go, pregnant Africans were not taken away. They freed them from this building, they built houses for them to keep people stand. They kept them there. They gave them food, clothing, everything. When they gave them, sometimes they'll free the mother, the child. But they will take care of their mother and the baby up to about 10 years. When they go and take the light skin baby from the mother, they'll bring the mother here again as a slave. And British gave birth to light-skinned children, or mulattoes. And they were proud giving names to those children. That is how come
along the coast of Ghana today, especially when Europeans settled, we have light people, and most of the Ghanaians having European last names such as Van Dyke, Van der Poel, Van Vika, Bartels, Da Costa, De Souza, Johnson, Compson, Ferguson, Morrison, Roxon, Williams, Forson, Ferguson, Kufison, Kwabison. Just create some space here. You can see the door of no return. But the door of no return was originally small, which was built for one human being at a time. So they go through one after the other. Then that was the end. And the door became bigger like this during colonial time. This is not the original one. Out there, there's so much crowd. The boundary, separate them from the local people. The locals were here before they came. They were at the back of the wall. So this side was called White Man's Beach or Abrafumpuano. But now the wall is broken, so our people are in control. So this is a typical fishing community. This is for the African now. And if you go through the door of no return, during the time of slave trade as a black person, one, you will lose your identity. You will lose your culture. You lose your respect, dignity, everything. And from here, most of the captives were taken to North America, United States. Places like Jamestown in Virginia, North and South Carolina, Louisiana and others. Some went to England, Liverpool. And Liverpool was the biggest slave harbor in the whole of Europe at that time. Some of them were taken to Bristol, some Portuguese colony. Some of the Brazilians were taken to Angola, East Africa. But if we talk about Suriname, Haiti, Dutch Guyana, those places, they also passed through Elmina Castle, through the hands of the Dutch. And Brazil received the largest number of slaves from Africa. Brazil got 47% of the entire slaves from Africa. And Brazil is the second largest black population in the whole world, second to Nigeria. Yes. Let's get closer. Let's get closer a bit. A little bit every. So let's spend some time here for me to tell you how the Africans were captured. Nobody volunteered to suffer like this. They were captured through several means. And let me tell you so that because Europeans needed Africans, they created a system on this land, on the continent of Africa, that was very difficult for Africans here to resist them. And up to today, to me, that system has not changed much. The system is still working. One, Europeans captured some of the Africans physically. They worked with some Africans to capture other Africans. Some other Africans called slave raiders, like armed robbers of now. Europeans gave them guns, they gave them tobacco, champagne, a few other things. And because their system of trading was better, these people to organize themselves into groups like this, they will go and raid villages. They will capture some people. They will bring them to the Europeans in exchange for foreign goods. And the last one that brought more than 60% of Africans was intertribal wars. Ethnic conflicts. And that is where the problem is. And we have to understand clearly that long before Europeans came to Africa in 1471, which was the Portuguese, before they came, there was nothing like Ghana or Nigeria. or Togo or Burkina Faso, that kind of thing. We had kingdoms, empires, African states, so for that matter, the African government themselves. So sometimes they fight over a boundary just to expand the territory. Sometimes they fight over land they perceived to be rich of gold or diamond. But before they came, Africans were here, go to war with weapons like bows and arrows. They go to war with these things. After a long fight, one tribe will lose the war. The losers will be taken as domestic slaves. Those people, to large extent, they had some amount of freedom. They could marry, raise free children like this. They could acquire property. Later, they were integrated into the family system. They were not kept in building establishments. They were also not transported to Europe and America permanently. They were free people in society. And I believe that system of slavery has been with humans since time immemorial. Let me give an example. In Ghana, I know for sure that not long ago, if you own somebody, he hasn't got that money to pay, you can allow your son, your daughter, sometimes your wife, to go and work for the person you are owing for a number of years. You agree upon just to pay the debt. The Ghanaians know the system I'm talking about. Proud the Ghanaians. Remember? Thank you. The period of work as slave. If you are working like that and you are a woman and you are beautiful, with a good character, and somebody from the master's family should get married to you, automatically you free yourself from the slave part of the family. Okay, there's no way I can enslave my wife. I don't think the brothers can do the same. So before Europeans came, we had this system in place. And when they came, the situation changed. Immediately, they capitalized on our system. So they then brought guns to the African chiefs to fight among themselves. They gave them the guns, the tobacco, perfume, those things. And they were to pay for these things, but the system was better. And they would tell the leaders that they need those guns to protect themselves, fight the other tribe, take everything. The guns get to the chiefs. The only option available was to organize themselves, use their guns against the other tribes. So whenever they fight, the losers, instead of them to become domestic slaves in their homes, as they were doing before, they gave them out to the Europeans, let's for guns, let's for champagne, sardine, tobacco, sugar and other things. So there were conflicts all over Africa. So the more they go to the war, the more they capture innocent people like us in exchange for foreign goods. Divide and rule, divide and conquer. This was the system they used at the time to their advantage. If you look at what is happening globally, 21st century, what has really changed? Has something changed? Oh, you can talk. Nothing has changed though. So when they see that the South Africans sold their own people, some of us will get mad. The system they created, they are still using the system today. Roughly, most of them. The ones were created by the same people. They are still being the same today. Nothing has changed. People came from all over West Africa. They were not only Ghanaians. Some from Ghana, southern parts. Some from the northern belt. Some from Togo, Nigeria, Burkina Faso. Ghanaians were placed in Ghana like Salaga in northern Ghana. Sunday, Mantu. They were gathered at those places as a UNESCO heritage site. That was done in 1979. As we tour the dungeon this year of 10 brothers and sisters, it ought to be in the everlasting memory of the sufferings of our ancestors. We pray that so that they should rest in perfect peace. It's a lot to tell. Especially Africans like you should find their roots. And return never again. And I repeat, never again. Giving that opportunity to commit such atrocities against his fellow human being on this day. On this note, I think this is my nice and at the end of the tour, the guys will refuse their Christmas.